So I've been diving into my backlog a bit. I spotted a pair of Displacer Beast minis and I thought to myself this might be a fun opportunity to talk about a personal painting rule of mine, an artistic ambition. These days I don't really paint with black. I paint the illusion of black, using as much color as I think I can get away with. I love a saturated paint job. It keeps a miniature lively and visually engaging, even from arm's length, which is your standard miniature viewing distance. Now, when I first started painting, I would just paint it black and then dry brush something gray. My first Chaos Space Marines looked alright, but they felt kind of lifeless. Plasticky. Fake. Black isn't really a color that appears in nature anyway. Black cats are a really deep brown, black cloth fades in the sun to a gray, and space itself isn't even black, it's just empty. Now, a traditional canvas painter might mix colors like burnt umber or ultramarine in varying ratios to create warm or cool dark tones to use for shadow and void. Pure black tends to flatten an image, but using different colors for your darks can give you control over the tone or the mood. So, I'll show you my tried and true recipe for painting a not black, and then together we'll experiment and try something new. I'm base coating the first model with German Camo Black Brown by Vallejo. This is my go-to method. It's a rich, chocolatey tone that reads as black, but still light enough that you can go darker to create shadow. Now for our experimental model, I'm taking Vallejo Night Blue. It's going on a bit light, it definitely needs a second coat, but I already really like the tone. I'm curious to see how it develops. While those coats dry, I move to the base. I'm using Vallejo Flat Brown. Next I'll add some purple and a little pink to the ends of the tentacles to make them look fleshier. Now for the wash. I use a black wash thinned with glazing medium so it tints the model darker without swallowing the color. Before bringing the colors back up, I dry brush bone on the teeth on the tentacle tips. I like to do this early since dry brushing can be messy and it's easier to clean up in the next pass. Now I start building the color back up on the body. The goal here is to define the musculature by brightening the raised areas to separate them from the recesses. On the Blue Beast, I noticed that this coat was actually drying darker over the colors that were already on there. So I pivoted, and I repainted everything but the deepest shadows, where all the wash wound up pooling anyway. I'm going to mix a slightly lighter tone for the next pass. Switching to the Brown Beast, that paint went on much smoother. The color is where we want it. That is why this is my tried and true method, I guess. Behaves predictably. For the Brown Beast, I mix black-red with neutral gray and hit the highest parts of the musculature using short, repetitive strokes. This texture gives the illusion of fur since the sculpt itself is quite smooth. For the blue one, I layer royal blue, keeping it thin so it dries darker over the base tone. I let it dry brighter on the face to draw focus there since it's the model's natural focal point. If it ends up being too bright, I can always glaze it back down with night blue. I do a little pin washing to deepen the darkest areas again, using the same process on both models. A final pass of royal blue and neutral gray together for the last highlights. The gray helps tone down the saturation, and this mixture definitely needed a brighter color for some contrast. Then, a dot of red in each eye. And a few dots of bone on the teeth for detail. Time to pretty up the bases. I start with an army painter grass tuft, just here and there. Then I dab on a little wood glue and hit it with a static grass. My personal finishing touch, the thing that says this model is done, is painting the rim of the base. A little victory lap. So here you go, 2 attempts at not black. The brown Displacer Beast certainly seems successful. I like the warmth of the gray and the highlights, just a little subtle red hue. The blue one, fun experiment. I think it might be a little too blue, but there is something about the brush strokes on the model that give it like an interesting energy. It's high contrast and kind of looks stylized. So what do you think? Which of the 2 techniques is more successful? Do you think this is something you'd like to try? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel. It really helps a young channel like this one grow. Have the best day, and I'll catch you on the next one.